Happening now, crews in parts of our state working through the night, cleaning up damage from Saturday's storms.
That includes in Harwinton, which was hit pretty hard. They saw significant damage there. Your reporter Sierra Jordan live there this morning will look at some of the progress being made before state leaders are actually going to tour that area today. Sierra.
That's right. Governor Lamont and Congresswoman Hayes are expected to tour the storm damage here in Harwinton and Torrington. And North Road is still closed as crews move heavy equipment to remove those massive trees and branches. Harwinton remains under a state of emergency and municipal buildings are closed today. Throughout town, downed trees and large branches continue to block roadways, making it difficult for crews to reach some of the hardest hit areas. Crews have been working around the clock along Lead Mine Brook Road, one of the areas hit the hardest. The town's first selectman says there is still a lot of ground to cover.
We have not let up. We don't plan to let up. We'll be here for you. And if you have anything to report, please dial 911 for urgency. Anything else can go straight through to the town hall.
Around 9:45 a.m., the governor and Congresswoman Hayes will be here touring the storm damage, and will have their reaction and the latest developments both on air and the WFSB app. Your reporter live in Harwinton, Sierra Jordan, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.